Good morning, dear colleagues. We continue our work on the topic of the express briefing. Actually, we have a SCAP collection, the opening of the checkpoint for pedestrians in the Luhansk region. Our speaker is the Yuriy Klymenko, Deputy Head of the Military Bloc at the Luhansk Regional Military and Civil Administration. Dear Kopas, yes, excellent connection. Thank you very much for the invitation extended to me. This is really very important and a very topical problem to us, and we plan to open the pedestrian checkpoint on October 10, the coming Saturday. To do that, we are taking care of a number of different measures to open this pedestrian checkpoint. I would like to say that unlike our neighbor in Donetsk region, on the territory of Luhansk region, there is no checkpoint for the pedestrians or for special car or truck crossing. That's why we practically are absolutely blocked, and we do not have any contacts with our countrymen on the occupied territory. That's why, to us, this is really a very symbolic and very important event. It is very important to us to make it happen. The pedestrian checkpoint, crossing point, which we plan to open this Saturday, will be provided over the bridge, over the Syrsky Donetsk river, which was destroyed as a result of combat actions. Further on, they welded to this bridge some metal beams, and then they put the wooden structure over those metal work with the rails or the barristers, and this bridge will be used for people to walk over. We had a representative of the Motor Road Service representative when they analyzed the status of this bridge. The approximate mass is 200 kg per 1 square meter, and their conclusion was that it's desirable that the number of people crossing this bridge at the same time, not more than 10 people. We do not think that we'll have a lot of people coming over simultaneously over this bridge. This is not a very long bridge. I mean, there the people will get to the territory of the population area, which is called actually Stanitsa Luganskaya. We are going to pass to provide passage to the people who have the electronic passes. As provided by the legislation, those passes can be issued to practically all those who wish to have those. The procedure is not very long. The information about this procedure is on the website of the SBU. When a person who moves to the territory controlled by the Ukrainian government, when this person produces the passport of citizen of Ukraine and his electronic pass will be checked, he will be given the green light to the Stanitsa Luganskaya area. Several meters away there is the bus station. Unfortunately, it is destroyed, but this area will be used for the minivans or the, let's say, buses, which will take all those who would like to go inside the Lugansk or the Lugansk area. We specifically provided some routes, special routes, towards the city of Starobelsk and Severodonetsk. Those bus routes also pass a number of other villages and populated areas. For example, the bus route to Severodonetsk goes through the towns Shastya and the district center in Novoaidar. To Starobelsk, it passes through 3 district centers: Milovoye, Markovka, and Belovodsk. In other words, those willing to cross this bridge and then visit a number of different populated areas or towns and villages will have this opportunity to visit there relatives. As for Stanislav Luhansk, we're going to offer a set of different services. Those services will be provided or rendered by the representatives of Migration Service, reps of the Pension Fund, reps of the social services, legal services under the Ministry of Justice, because indeed we know that the residents of the Lugansk region who live on the territory of Lugansk region, they have a huge number of different outstanding issues and problems which for a long time have not been resolved, because approximately since June 10 this year we haven't had, as I mentioned before, we haven't had any checkpoints, and the people living there are kind of separated or blocked, and the problems they encountered, they're related to, if we're talking about the migration service, those problems are associated with being issued the passports of the citizens of Ukraine, those persons who are already are 16 years of age, or, for example, issuance of the foreign passports or external passports, those who would like to go abroad. Those are the major problem. If we're talking about the Ministry of Justice problems, they are related to being to the issuance of the birth certificates or death certificates, because on the occupied territory those certificates are not issued, or they are issued. They issue the birth and death certificates of a new kind of, for example, the Lugansk People's Republic with the logo and the seal of the Lugansk People's Republic. But those people, many of those people who live in those territories, they do not to be issued such certificates. They would prefer to be issued the Ukrainian official certificates. As for the fund pension problems, we're talking about the obtaining the pension or recalculation of the pensions and all the services which fall under the responsibilities of the pension fund. As for the social services, similar issues or similar problems associated with the sphere of actions of social service, for example, providing some privileges, additional aid or assistance, and some clarifications to be given regarding the rights of the people who are going to move to different places, residents. Also, we are going to offer the services of the Shad Bank, savings bank, so the people can actually carry out any kind of the operations provided by the saving bank, Shad Bank. And for this purpose, this bank prepared a big module, which is a mobile module with the strengthened protection. We cannot call it an armored one, but it can protect against the fragments of shells, etc., grenades. It's situated not far from the checkpoint, so all those willing to use those services, they can take care of any transactions or operations which are specific for this kind of this bank. Also, we offer the possible opportunity for the people to let's say to obtain or to get the services of the pharmacies and buy the medications of good quality and Ukrainian prices. Also, we offer the market which will be used in its majority for sale of the products which is produced in Lugansk territory. We are talking about the dairy products, the meat products produced by the different factories located on the government-controlled territories, and agricultural produce, let's say, grown by our farmers, like vegetables, fruit, etc. So we are going to offer this kind of those kinds of services to the people. That's why to us, it's as I mentioned before, this is really very important. For a long time, the people did not communicate with the outside world, so to say. That's why our efforts we are going to direct in order to fill the information gap, let's say. Ukrainian information segment which unfortunately is not available today on the occupied territory. We're going to distribute the newspapers, regional newspapers, national newspapers. Each of the services will actually provide the information specific to this or now in the Ministry Department. Maybe this will be useful to the people. This information will also contain the different contacts, cell phone numbers, and news about the legislation. And we plan to provide the different stands for international organizations like the UN mission, OSCE, Red Cross, where they're going to use those stands with their specific information and contact telephone numbers. For those people who do not have e-passes, electronic passes, we made provision for coordination center, which is directly involved in providing the electronic passes issuance. They're going to have the advertisement board containing all the information about what is required to obtain or to be issued the electronic passes, and the contact numbers and the email address where they can actually use to send the already prepared package of documents. And if the people do not have the access to computers or access to internet, we will provide a special mailbox, which could be used again to send the documents for the issuance or to issue the electronic passage, which is, it could be filled out, by hand. And according to the established procedure, they're going to issue those passes to the people. As regards the legal aspect of that, for this pedestrian checkpoint, this is legally supported. So this actual checkpoint previously was operational according to the decision of the National Security and Defense Council. This was included in the procedure 14 LG, which regulates the issues associated with the movement of commodities and people to the occupied territory and back. So the checkpoint, Stanitska Luhansk, has been, it's included in all the necessary documents, but this was closed by the previous governor of this area, Yuriy Klymenko. It was closed because of the aggravation of the combat actions with the continuous shelling, and we closed that checkpoint because it was very dangerous for the people, because the bridge, as you understand, is a place where a lot of people can gather together, and it's situated in the vicinity, which was heavily bombed and shelled. So hence the decision was made to close this checkpoint. So since September 1, we do not have this big scale shelling, or just periodic or sporadic, but of late there were none. That's why we made the decision to open this first pedestrian checkpoint now. Thank you. I'm prepared to take your questions, if any. I'll try at least to do that. Thank you, Yuri. Sim colleagues, do you have any questions or clarifications? Allow me to put the first question from UCMC. During one of the press conference earlier, you mentioned in order to make this checkpoint safe and secure, you're going to involve representatives of the CMM mission of our CE. Did you succeed in doing that? Yes, indeed. We had negotiations with the special monitoring mission of OSCE. We actually approached them in writing and verbally, contacted them repeatedly. Yesterday we had our latest talk. Indeed, they're going to be present in Stanitsa Luhansk every day, and starting on Monday, last Monday, they are there every day practically, and they provide us, they provide the inspection of the bridge and the adjacent territory, involving the representatives of the Minister of the Extraordinary Situation or Emergency. When they try to diffuse to find the mines, if any, and diffuse them, etc. Sergei Malarchuk, Ukrainian Crisis Media Center. Could you please tell us whether you synchronize your database of the persons who are wanted as suspected of terrorist actions, and those, if you're talking about going to cross this conventional border, and for which period of time they are allowed to stay in the government-controlled territory, and will not be conducive to the penetration of those persons who plan to be involved in some subversive or sabotage actions on the territory of Ukraine. Thank you for your questions. It's one of the problematic issues. But I would like to immediately tell you, when a person is issued electronic pass, he is being verified and checked based on all the databases. I'm talking about those persons who are involved in terroristic actions or who committed some crimes, who are wanted. We can state that a person who was or has been issued an electronic pass, he's been checked and verified according to all the database. We cannot exclude the situation when the persons who were issued electronic passes will not penetrate our territory without the plans of subversive or sabotage actions. That's true. But we are prepared for that. Ukrainian competent services are going to be working along those lines. Law enforcement bodies are going to take care of their all the necessary measures to review such persons. If you're talking about the period of time which they can spend on the territory controlled by the government of Ukraine, there is no time limitations. No regulatory document mentions how long those persons can stay here. They are a citizen of Ukraine. If they have a passport of a citizen of Ukraine and they have been issued the electronic pass, he can stay here for as long as they can. One more question: where you plan to have similar checkpoints? Thank you. Yes, indeed, we plan to open at least one more checkpoint by the end of this year. If it would be possible, we are going to open more. The more of them will be, the more efficient will be our efforts. The plans, like in the Luhansk checkpoint, there is another checkpoint which has been legalized by the decision of the Council, the National Defense and Security Council, Lysychansk, Vorskla, Zolotoye, and Первомайsk. But this checkpoint was closed due to the fact that the town of Первомайsk was closed by the LPR, Luhansk People's Republic. There was a big concentration on the military personnel and military equipment. That's why the only road towards in this direction was actually blocked by a special rope, and they put up the warning sign mines. So we are working on to resolve this problem, and there are some Minsk agreements which are directed, provisions which are directed to peaceful resolution of the issues. Also, we plan to open another checkpoint near Novatoshkovka village, and this is Bakhmut Highway, and not far from that, and checkpoint will be opened near the passageway near the 29th checkpoint. This route is quite in good condition, and it can be used to reach any kind of the populated area which is closest to this part of the Lugansk region of Severodonetsk, Popasyansk towards Lugansk. Thank you, Yuri, for this exhaustive answers. This is the end of our Skype connection. We hope we'll have more or on a regular basis, maybe once every 2 weeks or once a month. Thank you again, and hear you next time.